It is now time for Me and My Roku with your host Peter Clay.
Hello, Peter.
Incidentally, this is Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
From a different Peter.
Peter was like my brother.
This is my brother Peter.
Pete, you are not the
Holy crap, it's Peter.
Oh, I love Peter.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
All right, Pete, we're not friends no more.
I'm just trying to make friends with Pete.
Okay, I'm with you, Peter.
Who's your guy? Peter.
And last but not least,
Peter.
Does Pete really need to be here?
Yes, he does.
Peter Clay is here today.
Good luck tonight, Peter.
Peter, walk away!
Come on, Pete.
Host Peter Clay.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another Me and My Roku podcast. I'm your host, Peter Clay. Welcome aboard. This is the podcast where I come from time to time, usually weekly, sometimes a couple times a week, sometimes a couple times a month. It's a podcast. We're not on a regular schedule here. It's me and my Roku and my streaming devices, and when news happens, when news breaks, I fix it. A lot of the times, I just tell you what I'm doing in the streaming universe. Right now, a lot of YouTube and a lot of sports. And that's just the way it is. And tonight, we have a special treat. Have an interview, and I've gone out of the house. So the first guest was the Little Misses. Then I went out of the house to a blood relative, and that was my brother. And now I'm reaching out just a little bit to my jerk ex-neighbor, Nate Randolph from Nate Randolph's Number 12 Sports. That was a little thing we did, and you can catch it on the Internet Archive, exactly where you can get this podcast. It's going to be a nice, fun discussion because I find that talking to somebody else about what they do with their streaming, I get a little more open about what I do in my streaming universe and all that stuff. So we talk a little bit about sports. We talk about other things about. He has a different dynamic because he actually has not only a Little Misses, but he's got two little Rugrats running around. They're not his, but he's treated them like his own and all that stuff, which is really nice. That dynamic has led to another streaming thing that I don't normally have to talk about because this is me and my Roku, and I don't have that dynamic. So it's going to be a fun conversation. I hope you enjoyed that. So a couple quick things about that discussion real quick. We did it on the road, so there's going to be some background noise that hopefully I tried to clean up as best as I could. But it was best to have the conversation while I could have it, and then to try and do something perfect in the studio and all that good stuff. So I had the availability and the willingness to do it. So I went along with that. And second, somewhere, somehow in there may be some colorful metaphors in there that I just decided not to edit out because they weren't egregious and they weren't derogatory or anything it's just in the general course of conversation. So be mindful of that if you have young listeners on there. So we're not trying to do anything sneaky or anything along those lines, but I just thought I'd share that with you. We also got some news notes and stuff and some other things along those lines. So one of the things we talk about is the whole Number 12 Sports on that is we would joke about how sports talk has really not done well for sports. You would think, well, what are you talking about? You're talking about sports all the time. And he's like, well, no, you're really not. It's only the major sports, mostly NFL and NBA, MLB when you have to, and if news breaks on something else, like when you had the disqualifications in NASCAR, maybe they'll bring it up, maybe not, maybe just in the headlines type of thing. And that's been a real shame. So we brought up this thing called Number 12 Sports, and I also go into a little bit of detail in the talk about it, about where it really came from. But basically that sports is the entertainment, and we've lost sight of that. It's all about, well, who was the best running back in 2012, and they're better. No, you suck. They suck. Ugh. And all that stuff. And so it's all this he said, she said stuff, and forgetting that the sport is the entertainment. And it really bugs me when I hear people just talk about, oh, I only watch if Tiger Woods is playing or Red Sox, Yankees, and all that stuff. And so for me, give me Royals, Rays, I don't care. You put a sport in front of me, I'm enjoying it. And I've been enjoying darts and all these things. Number 12 Sports. If badminton was on, I'd watch that. During the pandemic, I was watching bowls. These people who are basically playing a elongated version of a bocce ball. Exciting stuff. Entertaining to get your mind off of things and all that stuff. So that's what we like to do at Me and My Roku, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, along with some other things and some news notes and stuff. So we got some things to get to, so let's get started.
Pierce. The Eagle has landed.
Okay, one of the biggest sports around, the NFL, is almost back. The season's about ready to get started, at least training camp and all that stuff. They're all reporting, all that good stuff, fun stuff to talk about and stuff. We won't have any games for quite a while yet, but yet NFL is in the news, and they made a little announcement the other day. And they're essentially replacing NFL Game Pass with their new NFL Plus. Yes, why not? There's nothing really wrong with Game Pass, I guess, but hey, I guess they want to get in on the streaming deal. And what this replaces two things. It replaces Game Pass, and it also replaces a service that's been available from Yahoo the last, 4 or 5 years, as long as I can remember now. So now with this, you're replacing something that was free and also something that was a little on the expensive side. And we've kind of merged them together into one little service. One $4.99, that will get you the usual things that you got on YouTube for free, but now you have to pay for it. And that's what you would get locally. Okay, so depending on where you're at the time, and only mobile. Okay, now can you screencast it? I don't think so, but I don't know. I may try the 7-day trial just to have some fun and giggles and all that stuff. But with the NFL Game Pass Plus Premium at $9.99, archival games, NFL footage, and anything that's not live, you're supposed to be able to use on a streaming device. That's their words, not mine. I'm reading it on the article right now from Steven Silver. So get on his case if he's wrong, not mine. This is me and my Roku, so this is something I haven't delved into yet. I'm just reporting the news at this point. This is something that's intriguing to me. I'm trying to stay away from the NFL. I have been just fine the last 5-6 years with just Red Zone. And of course then your Thursday night and Monday night and whatever is, primetime stuff. So this is worth a try if you're into the NFL. It's $9.99 a month. I could give up Discovery Plus for a month, couldn't I? Just credits anyway. So worth a try. We'll give it this. Now, does this replace Sunday Ticket? It does not as of yet. Everyone seems to guess that Apple TV is going to get it, possibly Amazon, and now Google has come into the mix and as part of a package to put on YouTube, not YouTube TV, YouTube. So there's 3 big characters there with a whole wads of cash ready to go at it, and yet I'm not convinced that NFL Plus might just do it next year. They've already got the 2 tiers right there, the $4.99 a month and the $9.99 a month. What's to say they can charge you $399 for Sunday Ticket on their thing? They might have to partner with somebody like Microsoft or somebody like that, maybe Google, for the backbone on that. Who knows? So, hey, if you're in for football, NFL Plus, why not? We needed one more plus, and here it is for you on Me and My Roku.
It's now time for Nate Randolph's number 12 sports. Anyone can be number 1, but only one man dares to be number 12. Nate Randolph, number 12 sports.
Okay, welcome back to Me and My Roku. So as you recall, on the last episode, I talked about my jerk ex-neighbor. And speak of the devil, here he is. Nate Randolph's number 12 sports.
What, you're talking about Sean?
No, that's my jerk neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
And you're the ex-neighbor. You're the one that... Well, you weren't the first one to escape, but a bunch of people, so weird.
Eventually, they all make their way away.
Apparently, yeah. We do think it's us. But,
we all think it's you, too.
I worked with Nate in the past here. I talked about the Van of Love tour that we went on for a spell there. And we've had virtual ones since then, since COVID and all that stuff.
Virtual Van of Love tours?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we just talk about the concerts we would have gone to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Or the ones we regret.
Right. Well, there's only one regret, and it'll haunt me to the end of time because there's just no way it can happen now. And that's Kool and the Gang opening for Van Halen at the Rosemont. What do they call it now? Allstate Arena now or something like that?
No, wasn't that over at Alpine?
No, that was in Rosemont. That's why I think that's why we didn't go, because we would have to go all the way.
No, I don't think that's why we went. I just think you were a jerk.
Well, that's
fuck this.
Most likely the scenario, but we'll just count Chicago traffic as the reason.
It was a bad time of the year. You know, summer's not a good time to drive in the winter.
No. There's never a good time to drive into Chicago. We went to that Queen concert, the first one with Adam Lambert, and I spent more time in traffic than I did that night with you and your little missus, and me and my little missus, than I did the actual, you know.
Well, so we got in earlier, but I had a big-ass rental van.
Oh, yes.
So driving in the traffic there, I was just whipping around cars, and I didn't care. I was either going to hit them or not.
There's nothing I could have done. It was bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
I couldn't zigzag if I wanted to, and if I did, it wouldn't do me any good anyway.
Although when I did get to the hotel, I did tear the sliding side door out of its track.
Oh, good job.
Like it dislocated shoulder, so I had to pop it back in.
No, yeah, I'm trying to remember this now too. We'll get to the Me and My Roku part of this eventually, folks. But this is fascinating stuff here. So it must have been warm, end of summer or something, hot and humid or something. Because remember I had that dandelion wine I brought, and then it exploded.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
The cork popped on it or something, and
you were wounded.
I don't know if I was wounded.
You got wounded.
We had to get a maid in there to clean up because I think there was broken glass or something like that everywhere.
Yeah, the maid really cleaned you up, all right.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we almost got kicked out of there too. But it was nice to know though that we went to some happy hour or something before that too.
They had the free happy hour with hors d'oeuvres and drinks.
Yeah, and so then we looked at that and we were looking at they were giving us beer and you and I looked at this as well, what about that? And there was this bottle of scotch, and they said, well, you don't care. I think was it Chivas or was it? It wasn't the top shelf, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Johnny Walker,
and it wasn't like a J&M or anything like that. It wasn't the cheap stuff, but it was anyway. So anyway, streaming. So Nate has a different dynamic in the universe, the TV universe than I do. We're both sports fans, so we always have to have some sort of trend. But you have the dynamic of one, your little missus, a junior missus, and you've had children in your. So my recollection is that you've had cable most of the time, along with a Roku device for the kids, whether it be Netflix or children's programming. Is that accurate?
Yep, more or less.
Yeah.
Once they became more like a child
teens,
of not liking the parents, and they spent the time in the room, then you put the TV in there. So then we get some sort of device to take care of their Netflix needs.
Cool. Excellent. That's fun. So, but now getting back to what you, if you go back to the Internet Archive, the Nate Randolph's number 12 Sports, we can get into that a little bit. And the reason why I came up with that kind of concept for you is that I was listening to Adam Carolla's show at the time, and he would have.
He's still doing the show?
He might. I don't care. I stopped listening to him a long time ago. There's one thing to have ways that you would like things to be and have solutions for them, but just I get tired of just outright complaining all the time, and that's why it got to me. That's just me.
Yep, gotcha.
That's why this is Me and My Roku, because it's about what I do. So I stopped listening, and then the hubris of some of this other stuff. So Dave Damashek would come on. He's been on the NFL Network. I don't know because I don't listen anymore. So I don't get mad about these things. I just don't listen anymore.
That's right. No sense to get worked up about it when you have the choice to just turn it off or listen to something else.
So every time Damashek would come on, Carolla would have this jingle then. This is Dave Damashek's number 1 sports, and I was like, according to who? What? And so I ran this running joke then of number 12 sports then is like, hey, anyone can claim to be number 1, but one man dares to be number 12, and that was Nate Randolph.
We all can't be number 12.
So look that up in the Internet Archive. There's some classics in there. Badminton, I think we had talked about, and I got some number 12 sports right now because I've been watching the Live Golf, the 54.
You're watching that?
I do.
Nice. Are you getting paid to watch it?
I'm the guy, yeah.
I mean, they're paying everybody else to join the tour and do everything.
Right now, yeah, Charles Barkley to be in the Pro-Am. The first time I checked it out on YouTube, and so I wanted to check out this DAZN, D-A-Z-N. And then I found out they had also my darts on there too, so I got the all around. So
the English darts,
yeah.
Nice.
I'm not even just the English, more European. Because there's like one of the top ones is from the Netherlands. That's a big one. I guess there's some Belgium is French, but yeah, a lot of them are English and Scottish, and even ones from Wales.
The rowdy ones.
The rowdy ones are more the Scottish. The Scottish one, he puts his hair in a mohawk, and then he paints this bald part of his head then too.
So he molds it into a mohawk. He doesn't go get it cut into a mohawk.
It looks fake to me.
And then he paints his hair.
Yeah, because he's got to be in his 60s too. So I don't know. Maybe he's only in his 50s. It's just because he's been smoking and drinking, playing darts all the time that he looks probably older than he is. But he's one of the top ranked ones, and he is the most fun to watch. He does a little dance too. So when you're introduced to the crowd, you come out into the crowd, they have the spotlights on and all that stuff, they play loud music and all that stuff, and they come out on the stage, and then when he gets on stage, they shake hands, they do this, and then he does this little dance, up there. It's really exciting. So number 12 sports right there.
Maybe he's just pissing himself getting ready for the match.
Could be, or he is pissed because he's pissed drunk.
Oh, I'm sure he's pissed.
Yeah, gotta be, because the rest of the crowd is too.
You didn't see me go to the bathroom the whole night, did you? Just don't walk.
Yeah, right there. There it is. So, well, that's good. So, the other thing that Nate Randolph and I do, how long we've been doing it now? We get right before the baseball season, about 30 days before the baseball season, I just totally annoy him with texts at rude hours of the night, starting at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And
well, sometimes I'll go a whole week without getting one. Sorry, I missed some. Here's 17 in a row.
Exactly. Well, double headers, and there was a rain delay. Well, it's like you don't have anything else going on or anything like that. It's only work. Well, yeah. What's more important, work or the over-under? Anyway,
the text came through. Sorry, guys. I got to leave.
So I go through, I run the numbers. So I wait for Pacoda and Fangraphs to come out with their numbers, and then I find 2 sports books to come out, and then I average them out and come out with the over-unders for baseball then. And it's at least 5 years, if not longer, that we've been.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
Because one time you came down for sometime in the fall, we were watching Badger football, and you brought
the totals, yeah.
But that was like 7 years ago or something.
Yeah. And then 3 years ago, we came up and the reason why I waited this long, it was in February then. It was almost getting ready for the next season, because we had Play Vegas then just before COVID hit then.
Yes, I do remember the fact that I went to Vegas.
Yes.
And I came back.
Right, but anything that happened in between, that's, let's just say Nate enjoyed Vegas while he was there.
That's right.
That's all that
Vegas
he said about that.
Vegas.
And so, that one ended in a tie, so that's why I brought that along, waited so long even though I won last year, but that's okay. That's not important. It's not about winning or losing, it's the fun of the game.
That's right. I think it's more of the comments that we make about our prediction and the predicted total. So it's, we give reasons why we might think this team is only going to win 13 games or they're going to win 147 games.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, I think you're absolutely right about it. And it really isn't about, I beat you or anything like that. But there are some teams that you and I just put stick a flag on and say, this team
they are locked into either under or over.
Yes.
Whatever the number might be.
I'm on the bandwagon, or this team I hate with the fire of 1,000 suns passion.
Yes.
And for me, and I actually put money on this one this year, both Sox teams. And the Boston's kind of giving me a little bit of a scare, but they've kind of come back to earth a little bit too. But I'm looking pretty good at my White Sox under right now.
Yeah, they've got a lot of turning around to do just to even get to contention for their division, let alone for
they might win the division, but they're not going to get the 91 wins that they were predicted or something like that. I think the Red Sox were 86, and that's why I'm kind of, that one's kind of a sweat. I don't think I had the Baltimore over, and
Baltimore's about over already.
Almost. Anyway, so that's the backstory on that. So we got the streaming in there a little bit. What are you looking for now? What do you do now? You still cable and a little bit of streaming, or what's the
no
deal?
Cable?
No cable. You did cut the cord.
Oh, we haven't had cable in years.
Okay, so straight internet then.
Yeah. So we evaluated a few options.
Yeah.
One was PlayStation View.
Right. But they went away then.
Well, initially I liked it. I liked the channel browsing.
Yes.
And the guide and everything. Yeah, and how it worked. However, their stream was piss poor at best.
Okay.
It would take a while to render, and then while you're watching, you get the spinny circle too often.
Okay.
So the next one we tried was YouTube TV.
Yep.
And we stuck with it because the guide isn't the best guide in the world, but really, I mean, once you find what you're looking for, it's fine.
And you can go to their website and adjust that too.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't mean the fact where the channels are, because yes, I have changed where the channels are located. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind all the Disney channels right in the middle of the guide.
Yeah. So you're talking about just like when you load it up and
so one change that they made is before I would flip down unless I got to whatever station it might be, and then when I would hit the back to go to the guide again, it would remember where I was.
Yes.
Now when I do that, it'll remember sometimes, but other times it'll just flip to the top of the listing again, and I got to scroll all the way back down. It's that scrolling down thing that is annoying.
I gotcha.
Because there's not a quick way to get through all that, at least that I haven't found.
I would say my only slight criticism of YouTube TV would be is, like, I might have just checked something on a whim, and it thinks that because it's the Google engine and all that stuff, it thinks that I want that all the time. Then
so then on your preview channel.
Yeah, on that home channel.
Yeah, you start getting all those stuff. I wonder, though, you could probably maybe just say remove from home start screen.
Yeah, you can. And you can do it online, too, and stuff. But sometimes I don't have time for that. I'm here for me and my Roku.
That's right. I got other things to do here. I need this to fire up. I needed to be fired up yesterday.
And to be perfectly honest, what I really only need it for is the login for ESPN. Because I have ESPN Plus then too, so I get my everything on my ESPN app. And then the Red Zone then. And that's about really it. There's some things on Discovery Plus, they don't update right away. And so there's maybe a couple cooking shows that I'll want and stuff that they can handle for me. But yeah, it's fine. I like it better than I had the Hulu Plus Live last year because last year I couldn't get YouTube TV on the Roku. And it was fine. And I can't say I wouldn't recommend it for somebody, or if somebody had it, I wouldn't say get rid of it or anything like that. But for me, being a Hulu fan, some things work together like chocolate and peanut butter, and some things sound good like having Hulu and live TV together, and it just didn't quite mix for me. I like my Hulu and I like live TV. I just don't think I like them.
I want to say we did try Hulu and this live TV, and I wasn't as happy.
Well, they don't have MLB TV for one thing. That would probably piss you off.
So that was actually one of the requirements, is when I went through and looked at all these, I looked at all of the channel lineups, and I said, now there's some I need, some the rest of the family needs.
Yep.
So if it doesn't have any of those, it's an instant no, or I got to figure out how to fill that gap.
I think YouTube TV pretty much did. Have you ever tried Fubo?
Fubo, yep. Yeah. Well, so YouTube TV, fairly recently, I want to say, had a pissing match with the Disney channels, the Swedes, and the ESPNs, and a lot of channels were like off for like less than a day, though. Yeah, they resolved it.
A weekend tops. Yeah.
But I'm like, let me just fire up Fubo here and check it out.
Do the 5-day trial and all.
Yep. Because they had all the stuff that we wanted.
Even the Hallmark movies too, or because I remember a discussion one time. You called me down to the bar one time in a big panic, saying, "Pete, I need Hallmark like yesterday. Help me out," and all that stuff.
And so we did have just like a couple months around the Christmas time of the Hallmark package, whatever.
Yeah.
With the YouTube, but now YouTube has it included.
Included now, yes.
So we don't need to worry about that anymore, which is great, fantastic.
So now is she into the Christmas in July right now, or are you free of that?
I know we haven't fired that up yet. What I want to say is, I put those channels strategically located after some other channels that she'll probably find something else.
Right. So that she doesn't get to that point then. Yeah. And realize that then.
Yeah. But once the season comes around, then she'll be like, oh, I'll go look for those, and I'll skip past everything. But right now, it's like, oh, even if she hasn't thought about those, she'll see something else, and I got you. That'll catch her attention.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, I'm happy with YouTube TV, and that's why I'm going with my football. I started earlier than I wanted, but Canadian football started earlier than I wanted, and they weren't all of the games on ESPN Plus like I had hoped either. Then they were showing up on ESPN News and ESPN2 and all that stuff. It's like, you bastards. So anyway,
one thing about ESPN Plus though is every once in a while I'll be on their website and I'll click on something to go watch or go whatever, and it says, oh, please log in, you must have a subscription. And then I click, type it in. So I notice every once in a while it will glitch out and doesn't recognize the subscription. I have not had that issue, but that's good to know. I think that might be more of a global bug too, because I think I remember hearing other people comment about that too.
Now, are you doing ESPN Plus then? Or?
Yes.
Okay, now you're doing the bundle with Hulu and okay. Yep. Then, that's weird, because I've not had that issue. I would say that maybe you also then check your Hulu account then to make sure everything's activated on there if that ever happens again then too then. So once I instead of doing things separately, went to the Hulu account and made sure.
Well, it doesn't last very long, and like I said, other users have mentioned it, so I don't think it's anything to do with the account. I think it's just just the glitching on their website or something.
Could be, and it could be also sometimes if it's on either on a computer or a phone or something like that. Sometimes you get kicked out and you have to re-log in or something like that, and so that might be an issue then. Yeah. So hey, look, we're solving people's problems here.
But no, I got the Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Hulu bundle.
Yep,
is what I ended up getting. Disney Plus, kids like watching it. I like watching some of the series as well.
Yeah, good stuff there.
Yeah, and they have a lot of great catalog of movies too.
Obviously you got the Marvel and the Star Wars, but they got other stuff then too, because they got that Fox catalog.
Yep.
Then too, and then a lot of that's in there as well then too. So no, you can't go wrong with any of that stuff too. And actually, Hulu's sneaky good on some of that stuff too, as far as movies goes. Then too. So.
Yep. So we got that. We got the Netflix. Obviously, we've had that longer than everything. But I'm gonna say we've had YouTube TV for at least 3 years.
Okay, straight then. You don't let it go after football or anything like that.
No, we kept it, and because I told her how much it would cost versus how much our cable bill was, and I said, these are the only channels we're not going to have. And she looked, she's like, what is this, Telemundo stuff? I don't even know what this is.
Right.
So, no problem there. And the other, so then with the Netflix too, you get the movies. But now we got a different package with our cell phone, our mobile carrier.
Okay.
Through AT&T, we did unlimited family data usage.
Yes.
But we also then got HBO Max thrown in.
Yes.
So
they still do that, huh?
Now we have that, yes.
See, now if you thought about it, because I know how your little missus feels about Netflix and all that stuff. She'd rather give up her children than Netflix. But is it one of those things? And that's why I also asked about YouTube TV. Is like soon as football's over with, like the day after, so the minute that last football game, that 17th game is done, Scott Hansen goes bye-bye. I delete the sports package then. And then the minute after the Super Bowl, then I cut the cable alternative then. So last year was Hulu, now it's YouTube TV.
Oh no, see, so throughout the September to May primetime network series
gotcha.
The TVR is filled.
Gotcha. But see, now my thing on that is, so that's why we also have Paramount Plus, Hulu, and Peacock, because then all our network.
Yeah. So from her point of view, though, is learning a different streaming service, and I'd rather not have to try to re-explain things to people and keep entering passwords and install the stuff. I'm like, let's just stick with this. We know what it is. We know what it offers.
I got you.
It gives us.
And then when you want something there, it may not be every night, But there might be a night like everyone's gone or something like that, or you're passed out already. She can go to something and it's there and she's fine, she's comfortable, and
Yep.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so now my question now
And
will
she's
be,
logged into all of them, so if she's upstairs, downstairs,
gotcha.
Her DVR is right there for her.
Yeah, the other interesting question here now is that do you have profiles then too? So to say, okay, you're watching this or she's watching
I
that?
haven't really said. I mean, I have my own, but I just keep her logged in. It's easier that way. I don't really record much on the DVR. I have a few things.
Not
but
Australian rules football or anything? Or...
No.
Interesting.
To me, it's if I'm flipping through and I see something, I'll stop and watch it.
Right.
But I don't care if I missed it.
Gotcha. Yep. I gotcha. Okay. So now the general point that I'm trying to get at here, because here's the whole, to me, and this is why I do me and my Roku and all this stuff, is to say it's okay to let things go, because you can always get them back. It's not a pain in the ass like trying to call the cable company and try and get an installer or anything like that. So now you're getting HBO Max for free, and you're paying for Netflix and all that stuff. And if you try and weigh the two out again, like when you guys, I would say it was very mature of you guys to go over this and do it as a team here, to go together on these things. But just saying, it's like, you know what? Let's give HBO Max a go here. And let's let Netflix go here for a little bit. Or is
I want to see
the risk of losing out on Squid Game or something.
Well, there's enough variety and uniqueness about them that it justifies having both.
Yeah.
Because we'll go to Netflix, we'll look around, like at night, we're like, let's watch a movie. We'll go there, we can't really find anything. I mean, we've been watching movies and maybe some stuff, especially me, that I normally wouldn't watch, but I'm like, let's just watch it. That's fine. I'm not going to care too much, because I'm only half watching some of it anyways. But we'll be out, looking around at Netflix and don't find anything. So then close that and we'll go into HBO Max. And I think, though, the second...
go down the line.
Yeah, the second choice, though, that we go to between those two, we'll find something there. Yeah. Whether we wanted to or not, just because we don't want to go back and forth. Because it's like, we already looked here, and I'm not going to come back here. If I go to the other one, we'll just pick something. So, yeah, I think there's enough unique differences about them as far as what they have to offer that we watch both.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I try and get this point down all the time. I have nothing against Netflix. It's fine. We had it for a year because I bought a Chromecast with Google TV. I think I finally said it right there at that. And it came with Netflix. It came with 6 months of Netflix then. So then when it expired, I kept it for a couple of months then. And then they offered me another 6 months then. And I said, well, sure, fine, I'll take it. Because I can't use gift cards for Netflix. Well, I can. If I have extra cash, I can go to a store and get gift cards for it. But the ways I get everything for gift cards, I can't do for Netflix like I can for other things. And so it's fine. And this past year, I found some things in there before. It was like things that remind me of Food Network, things that remind me of HTV, but they're not. But they're kind of the same, and that was fine.
I know what you mean. When I was flipping through, I'm like, this almost seems like something that would be on other TV channels or on like YouTube too.
Yeah. And well, the YouTube's a whole nother story then too. That's a whole other thing where I can just get lost in there too. So
we didn't even mention that one yet.
Yeah. So I've let Netflix go, and we haven't gone convulsions. And so I have little Mrs. who's retired and all that. She has no worse for the wear as if it hasn't even. She just moved right on to either. One time she was like in a big Paramount Plus kick, and now she's been on an Amazon kick. She has no problem now finding anything. And if I got Netflix again, she'd be like, okay, fine. Right. So either way, she's fine either way. I do recall, when they came to the point where the free period was coming up on Netflix, and I said, honey, I think I'm going to let Netflix go. She was kind of like, yeah, no, you're not, type of thing. But then as it got to the point there, she's like, you know what? I've been able to find other things too. And she was fine. So my only thing about it is I'm kind of looking forward to that 90s show to see if it is just even on par with that 70s show when that comes out, and I'm willing to check that out. But
but I mean, that 70s show is actually not too bad. So it's like, well, maybe the expectations will be too high.
It could be, and I might wait for a review or two on them too. But that's the other thing. I can come and I can go and I can try it for a month. I can try the show out, and I still have some things in the queue on Netflix that I can go back to and all that stuff too. So I'll be fine. So
But yeah, the other service then is the YouTube. And again, several years ago, I went to YouTube Premium because I watched enough of it that I didn't want the commercials.
Didn't want the ads. Yep.
But you also get YouTube Music.
Yep.
With that,
which is sneaky good.
Which is what I use when I'm out mowing the lawn. Yep. And I just turn that on and. Recommended for you, and they got an awesome playlist that they, based on what I've been listening to.
One thing about YouTube Music that I love the most is that I'll just suggest a song or something like that, and then it's really taken over Pandora as a better algorithm or whatever is picking that stuff up.
They're definitely. I mean, it's not all the same band, but they're closer in the genre.
Mix.
And I don't have some weird, obscure stuff that they just threw in. I think we're trying to, bump up that, listening.
No, and the best thing about YouTube is when you have tried legitimately to find everything else that you can. I've used the Just Watch app. I've used all these other things to find out where things are, and you literally can't find this, show that you used to watch and all that stuff. One was the Chris Isaak show. I mean, I tried it. I'm sure it's music rights. That's the issue there for some of that. But there it is on YouTube, so that's what it's good for. Okay, so we've been going now half an hour. I think we've wasted enough of your time. Nate, I want to thank you for coming on, being the first non-family member. Well, you're voluntary family, not blood family.
Where the hell are you going with this?
Well, I started with the Little Misses as far as the interview goes. She was the first. And then I went to my brother, so I finally got out of the house, and now we've had Nate Randolph's number 12 Sports
in the car,
in the car driving. We don't need to know where we've been, where we went to, where we're going now. Don't worry about it. It's all good. So Nate, I want to thank you for being on Me and My Roku, and so we'll have you on another podcast. Well, there's the other thing that Nate and I used to do. We used to not just number 12 Sports. We would try and come up with obscure podcasts we came up with some doozy ideas for podcasts. That's for some reason never took off.
It never really caught on.
Strange.
The viewership wasn't there.
Like Burn and Turn, or Turn and Burn was one of them. One on cricket. Not the dark game. Anyway, Nate, thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Word.
Okay, kids, come a little closer. Not too close. Monkeypox, for crying out loud. But just a little closer here so we can have a little discussion, talk about things here. The bandwidth of this podcast and all my podcasts since 2005 is brought to you by the Internet Archive, accessible at archive.org. Information, books, old software, anything that can be archived digitally, it's there for you. Check it out today, please. Archive.org. They're doing wonderful things over there. Consider supporting them, but at least just check it out and find all the different things. A whole library. You don't have to go. You don't have to get a little book card or anything like that. Well, you can sign up and do things like that. But in the meantime, there's so much there just available to you there. Check out all the information out there today. Archive.org. I do crazy little videos. Mostly on Instagram now. I have to be honest right now. I'm having so much fun on that, and I'm getting good feedback and all stuff. I'm really having a good time. So check me out on @PRArgyle on Instagram. But I did take the time to make some videos as well, little how-to tips, and just to get a chance to see my face and to see the studio here in the background and see the little pictures of the little misses to my side and all that stuff. Check that out today at meandmyroku.com. In the background, things like in the other room over here and all that stuff, I got things going around, and those things pay me in gift cards. And I accumulate as many of them as I can, and I pile them all together, and I use that then for the streaming services so they don't come out of my pocket. One of the main ones that I do, one of my favorite ones, the one I've done the longest, probably the most secure too, that's up to you to decide. Check it out though, please. swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. Look, things are getting expensive out there, but we still need stuff. So if you're going to get something, you might as well get a little something back for yourself on that. They've got that for you as well. You can do surveys in the background or do what I do with little things in the background. You can figure that out for yourself. Just try it out for yourself. It doesn't hurt. Okay, so when you go to swagbucks.radioaffliction.com, the way I just said it there, or click on the link of where you get this podcast, that'll get you started. That'll be all that you need to get started with that, and that'll help us, help them, help you. Get started right now. Win, win, win. We love those type of things there. Swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. Wonderful videos of me at Pierre Argyle on Instagram. Instructional videos where you get to see my face and you get to see my studio at meandmyroku.com. And the greatest digital library out there, accessible for anything that you can think of. Books, music, movies, software, archival things. That's all available to you at the Internet Archive at archive.org. Fear is physical, but so is courage. Okay, let's put this in the I'm not mad, just disappointed category, or it was too good to be true category. One of the two. If you remember last week, things were so beautiful back then. Oh, and they still are. But anyway, during Prime Day, I saw a deal that I couldn't believe in the Lightning deals, a 50-inch Fire 4K Fire TV, and $99. And I had a gift card, so it only came out to about $83 out of my pocket. And I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. And first they said, it's going to take 2 weeks to get here. And Monday, I got the email saying it's shipped. And then on the day it was supposed to come, this morning, I get an email saying, about that. It's unable to be delivered, and we're just going to cancel the whole thing and just issue a refund. So first I see it, I get excited, and first I'm upset because I don't need it. I don't really want it, but then I thought, well, okay, I have the 3 TV set up downstairs. That would be a good second TV on the right-hand side. I got kind of a smaller TV there. I hit my mic. I'm so excited about this. So, yeah, bummer. So part of me wants to say F off to Amazon and never doing another Prime deal like that ever again. And the other part of me is like, this is just the way it is. You just roll the dice. As long as I get credited back, that's just the way it is. It was, if it was meant to be, it would be type of thing. So I'm not going to get too worked up about it. But it seems like you could have told me right away. First, you made me wait 2 weeks. Then you tell me it's coming, get me all excited. And then on the day, I'm planning my whole day around this, it's like, how am I going to work around the 3 TV setup and what I'm going to do with the Amazon Fire Cube that was there, because you got Amazon and Amazon action there. How was I going to make that all work? And then all of a sudden, boom. That's just, yeah. Anyway, that's the bad news. Good news, it's been 1 week since I took the little missus to the Chris Isaak concert. And things have calmed down here just a little bit from the excitement and all that good stuff. But just feel that weight lifted off my shoulders of when I went with my jerk ex-neighbor to that concert. And then I was able to finally take her on a date night and all that stuff. Fancy dinner, get all dolled up and all that stuff and go out. And it was really nice. So 1 week, we couldn't believe it was 1 week already. And then I realized I still have Quello on my Apple TV, not in the Roku. But Quello was a thing that so I could watch concerts during the pandemic. They offered me $50 for 1 year of the service, and then I canceled it after a year. But then I found out it still works, like 75% of it. And there's 2 Chris Isaak concerts, and we watched them last night. It was kind of cute. So we watched both of them were a soundstage, so they were on PBS as part of a pledge drive. And you could kind of see where the breaks were for that. So they're about an hour long, and I believe the concert was about an hour and a half that we went to. So but it was still nice and still basically do the same things. A few songs were different. But the second concert was a Christmas concert. Christmas in July and Christmas with Chris Isaak. It was beautiful. Wonderful. All right, let's get back on here. Comings and goings. Going is the MLB TV app. I kept the app, actually, because there's still a free game of the day, but canceled the subscription. And I have to tell you, so far, baseball on my streaming devices. Friday nights, Apple TV. ESPN Plus, FS1, the thing called MLB Network, which I get on YouTube TV. YouTube has a weekly game. Peacock has a weekly game, and TBS. So far, I'm not suffering with a lack of baseball as we go into the second half of the season in the dog days of August. So it's fine that I let the subscription go. It's sometimes nice to just pick the game you want. I'm kind of funny that way because I'll pick the worst game that I could because I don't care. But like I said, as long as the game's on, I'm fine. So on to the news, notes, and stuff. Netflix partnership with Microsoft, strictly advertising based for now. We'll see. Some people are speculating because two big companies just can't do a deal. It has to be, will they merge someday? Or will Microsoft acquire Netflix? We'll see. Also, Netflix CEO, I'm not sure which one because they have a co-CEO situation going on right now. I don't think it was Reed Hastings. I think it was Ted Sarandos, who said that linear TV is dying. Now, technically, in the sense that we're all basically dying, eventually it's all going to happen. I still have a feeling that cable TV and over-the-air antenna is still going to be around for years to come yet. Are they going to be the dominant thing? Who knows? Because antenna TV, I think, actually is making a comeback. We're going to see here with Disney and ABC bringing back Monday Night Football and all that good stuff. T-Mobile to give customers free year of Spanish language streamer ViX Plus, because we need another plus. I'm just reporting the headlines. I am also a T-Mobile customer. I saw it on my T-Mobile Tuesdays, and I don't know what else to say about that. And I saw some of the other headlines when it debuted. So if you need premium Spanish language, then there's one way to get it, and look on there for other details on that. And I'm just reporting the news on that. This is something to me that's a little, type of thing. It's probably good. Who knows? But sometimes I'm kind of a fan of niche programming on there. And so FanDuel is acquiring TVG, and they'll be launching a new sports betting network replacing TVG and calling it FanDuel TV. That will replace the original TVG channel. And then that's going to focus on morning programming, mostly with Kay Adams and then a Pat McAfee show, while TVG2 will become the FanDuel Racing channel, which will primarily then stick to the horse racing and other things, also with a betting component on some other sports as well in there. So there will also be an over-the-top app, and that's going to be rebranded as well, and it's going to be called, take a guess, FanDuel Plus. Yes. So as long as it's still part of the sports package on YouTube TV in the spring or in the fall when I get Red Zone, it's fine with me. It's one of those things that's like, good. As long as I'm not getting Red Zone with that extra $10 I'm spending, that's fine for me. To binge or not to binge? That is the question. Is an all-at-once model still the right idea? Some people are questioning that with Netflix in their conference call last week, in their earnings call, and looks like they're starting to stray away from the all-at-once, and while Hulu and other companies and HBO Max are doing once a week. So to me, what I do in the Me and My Roku portion of this program is I watch the first episode and then I wait like 2 or 3 weeks so that I can binge from there on. So I end up binging eventually anyway. So would I rather have it all come all at once? To me, it almost doesn't really matter because I'll just get to it when I get to it, if I like the show that much. ESPN Plus adds 6,000 plus live sporting events with a Sun Belt Conference deal. So we saw last week that ESPN Plus is going to be raising their price. At least you're getting more and more sports. Hello. 60% of households watch FAST channels, free advertised supporting television channels, as free streaming options continue expansion. That is a study. That's their opinion. Hopefully that's true. Also, in the FAST or AVOD stream, Tubi is saying that 1 in 4 Tubi streamers say they watch Tubi daily. Is that good? It's a 25% hit rate. So if they're promoting it, they must be happy and satisfied with that. And so if they're satisfied, I'm satisfied. I like Tubi from time to time. I won't say I watch it daily, but sometimes that's a good way to watch some shows. Also, analysis. Streaming device shipments take big hit from inflation should rebound in coming years. Now, not to be sensitive, like when I was claiming to tell Amazon to F off, there's a lot of things going on. And there could be, okay, we thought we had it, we don't. And so that's, to me, like I said, it seemed too good to be true at the time. And not to realize that, hey, there's things going on. It's not, you think you got something and then you don't. And so there's still supply problems, whether it comes to TVs or cars or anything. And so, hey, that's just, like I said, that's just the way it is. So if we're not going to see newer hardware coming soon, one, hang on to what you got, get updates frequently, and hopefully you don't have a situation where something craps out on you and you need something right away. If not, and once again, I don't recommend buying used things from somebody, because even though if you think it's a great deal, whatever you can, get a cheap one from Walmart. The On brand is it's made by Roku, so those are still good devices. Amazon, I'm kind of having a hard time with their hardware right now. I still have that 4K Max stick that just won't load, and some of that stuff. And then I didn't get the TV that I thought I was going to get too. So hang in there, kids. We'll get there. And even if you have to get a Google TV with Chromecast or Chromecast with Google TV, that's fine too. Find the best deal that you can if you need a replacement right away. Guys, I'm getting itchy and twitchy, and I should get back to my Roku streaming devices and all that good stuff. I want to thank you for joining me for this program. Please stay tuned. We'll have more things coming out. If you need more, want to see what I look like, what the studio here looks like, check out meandmyroku.com. Special thanks to archive.org for their support, the Internet Archive. Check them out today at archive.org. You can get more of me also on Instagram. Follow me there at Pierre Argyle, and I've even done a TikTok or two. Follow me there at Me and My Roku. And if you need one-on-one questions, comments, anything along those lines, please email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. But the real bread and butter, the real way you can help this program is to subscribe. Hopefully you're doing that already. If you are, then please tell a friend or somebody, random stranger, who cares? When you're standing in line at the grocery, you got nothing better to do anyway. Tell them, hey, by the way, I'm listening to a great podcast right now. Subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Ghana, JioSaavn, Himalaya, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartMedia, Podbean, Pandora, and Odyssey. And at the very least, please, I hope you are enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll be back with you real soon.
That's it. It's over. It's all over.
Not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand.
And
I would love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No, not at all.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good. I think
it's bad.
That bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it.
Very cardboardy. That is like chewing on wet cardboard.